All right, we are live on YouTube. Gonna do some more Boot.dev stuff today. Learn some Python. It's gonna be a short stream. Let's toss it in announcements. All right, cool. Got it, good. I think I can share my screen. Everything good? Let's go ahead and load up boot.dev, then I'll share it. I still haven't heard back from the YouTuber about reacting to his video, so if we don't get permission, I'm not going to do it. I don't mind for like a large video, a large creator, because I know they don't really care, but small creators can get a bit of anxiety with that, so I want to double check with them first. All right, cool. I think we're good. Let's go. All right, cool. Chats are loaded. Ads are done on Twitch in like 10 seconds, and we'll get rolling with that. We're gonna go. Anything else I am forgetting? I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, cool. Let's jump into it. Oh man, I am tired today. I didn't get a lot of sleep. So we finished this problem. Oh, we did not. The caravan problem. Okay. All right, let's do it. Oh wait, I gotta create the Discord event. I don't care. Yeah, this is a short stream. I don't care. Sage weapons, battering rams, catapults are special units in Age of Dragons. Let's write the logic for how they move around the map. Cool. All right, so complete Sage, battering ram, and catapult classes. Complete the constructor. It accepts 2 arguments for the Sage. Okay. 2 arguments in order and sets them as instances or instance variables with the same name, max speed, and efficiency. Okay, again, like you're just completing these for me. I hate that. Complete the get trip cost method. It calculates the cost of a trip and returns it. Distance divided by self GRRRR. What's up, Alex? What's up, Anonymous? How you doing, ZLS? Happy Monday. You guys excited for the week or not looking forward to it? Oh, wait. Distance. Okay. Times food price. I don't need the parentheses, do I? I think these have the same weight when it comes to order of operations. Pretty sure. Leave the get cargo volume method as empty. Use the pass keyword. Child classes will override this method. Okay. Gotcha. If we're just going to override it, why even put it there in the first place? Yeah, why? Why even do that? Doing good, just chilling? Nice. So TTS is basically you? What are you talking about? Off this work. Oh, but sick. That sucks, man. Hope you feel better. Complete the constructor. It calls to parent. Okay, for the battering ram, so it's going to be... All right, super. Right? And we want to pass in what? Max speed and efficiency. I'm also learning Python after JavaScript and Java. Python is cool, but also kind of weird. Is that just me? Some of the things are really funky, like the dunder. What even is that? I don't know what dunder is. Right now, learning Flask and Django, and it's super interesting, but again, just kind of leaves me feeling weird. Gotcha. Well, what are you learning it for? I think I'm liking Python so far. Oh, it's a double underline? Gotcha. That feels weird to you? Okay. I don't know, some things are gonna feel I don't know, weird to you, I guess. I don't have that same feeling. No. I think the one thing I don't like about is like the scope creep, or about Python is the scope creep, but like I shouldn't be able to access a variable in a loop if if I have just the index, I shouldn't be able to access that outside the loop. That's weird to me. But that's about it. I feel like it's an important language to just know. No, I don't think you should just know a language just to know it. I think you should know a language to use it. Not going to use it, you'll forget it. There's no point in learning it. If you want to do it for fun, that's fine, but I don't think you should just know a language to know it. Like, what does that even mean, you know? That's what I mean. It's useful. For what, though? Useful for what? What are you going to use it for? You need to have a use case. You need to build stuff with it. What are you going to build? Let's see. All right. It calls to parent constructor, then sets the extra okay, I gotta refresh. Where am I? Complete the constructor. Extra battering ram only instance variables as member variables. As member variables. Okay. Extra. Okay. So self load wait bad area equals bad area. Okay, get trip cost. Formula for calculating the cost. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really practicing much just by you giving me all of this easily. Base cost. Get trip cost. Parent method to calculate the cost of food for a trip plus the extra cost of carrying the load. So trip cost. But you're talking about trip cost, right? I forgot. How do we call? We're overriding them. If we override it, how do we get that parent one? Get trip costs, get trip costs. Calculates and returns the cargo capacity and no. I need to call this method when I'm overriding it here. That's what I assume. And don't help me, by the way, in chat. I use it for dev tooling at work. I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't feel it's weird. Yeah, maybe you do. I don't know what to say to that. I don't like the blocks are based on indenting. Why don't you like that? I really like that. I think it's very easy to read like that. I mean, that's what you're going to do in JavaScript. You're going to indent just by convention anyways. Do you not indent your code? Hey, what's up, Yun Jay? Yeah, I'm having a good day. Just tired. How are you doing? Yeah, I see what you're saying, though. You're using it. So that's why you're learning it to build. I don't know. I really have mainly PHP and JavaScript to compare it to, and I would probably say I like writing Python the most so far. I mean, you can't really change types in Python. So for most applications, I get the that you don't really need to define a bunch of types. I actually think TypeScript clouds the code a lot. I'm not 100% sold on TypeScript, to be honest. I think Python's the cleanest language I've worked with so far. For me, it's the opposite. I feel like it's harder to read, probably just a habit. Oh, okay, I do C# type. But even with TypeScript, you're still tabbing. You're still tabbing to represent scope. Like, you're not going to... Yeah, you're still tabbing to represent scope. Are you, like, writing a bunch of flat code with TypeScript? So you would prefer having... Okay, so it's more readable to you to have the curly braces in to represent. Okay. I see what you're saying. Python is by far the easiest language to read, know at a glance, in my opinion. Very English friendly. I get the indent thing. The indenting stuff can be wonky when using the auto formatters. Like, I'll hit save and things look okay, no syntax errors, and then run it, and there's a runtime error because the indenting was off and it formatted weird. That just sounds like a formatting issue, though. I mean, it sounds like you have to change that config. I don't think that should be weird for Python. We're all weird ones, Golf. We're all weird ones. No, I'm used to writing the curly braces, and for a while I was writing curly braces, and sometimes you'll see me do it. But I don't know, just using it for a little bit, I kind of like without the curly braces. Less code to read. Love the curl boys and semicolons, maybe a hot take. I like semicolons in JavaScript. I don't know how I feel about them in Python, the lack of. I'm okay with it. I think I can get used to it. But I don't think I'll ever go back to JavaScript and start stripping the semicolons. I think I'll always use them in JavaScript. Okay, so I'm just going to ask Boots rather than look it up. I need to call a method in the parent class, but my child class, parent class in a method that overrides that method in the child class. How do I do that? Confirm. Oh, okay, super. Oh, interesting. I see. All right. Super. Thank you, Boots. You know what? We'll do a short chest today. Get trip cost. Okay, so super get trip cost. Are we passing anything in? Distance and food price. Load bed area. Distance. Get trip cost. That's bed area. Like, how do we have distance? Well, oh, never mind. We're getting it passed in through here. Oh, whoops. Distance, and what was the other one? Food price. Plus, load weight times 0.01. Get cargo volume method calculates and returns the cargo capacity in cubic meters. To get the volume of a battering ram's bed, multiply its area by its depth, which is always... Oh, depth is always 2 meters. Okay. So bed area... self bed... Damn hair. What's up, Devon? Back on the grind. Yep, every week. Back on the grind. How you doing? Ask us? I don't know. I don't even usually look at chat when I'm going through a challenge. I don't really care who I ask. The thing is, like, if I ask you guys, then you're always going to get that one person that then is going to flood my chat with a bunch of unsolicited feedback. And then I'm going to look at chat, and I'm going to regret that, and then I'm never going to look at chat again while I'm doing challenges. If I, like, everyone would just, like, respect or just, like, not help me until I ask for help, it'd be perfect. But that's not how streams go. You do it once, and then... And I understand people get the idea, like, oh, okay, Don wants chat to help. Not really. I like figuring stuff out on my own. The constructor calls the parent constructor, then sets the extra catapult only instance variable as a member. All right. Sets the extra catapult only instance variable as the member. So we have, I keep forgetting, it's max speed and efficiency. Okay, max speed, efficiency, cargo, volume. I wonder if it's looking for something like this. We'll see. All right, so cargo volume equals cargo volume. Do not override the get trip cost method. It's inherited from the parent class. The get cargo volume method just returns the cargo capacity of catapult. This is already set by its constructor. Wait. It just returns a cargo capacity of the catapult? But it doesn't. Returns a cargo capacity of the catapult. This is already set by its constructor. Are we just calling it? I don't know what we need to do with this. The get cargo value method. Cargo capacity of the catapult. Are we just doing bed area? Like, we don't have bed area. How do we get the capacity? It's already set by the constructor. Oh, it's literally just it's literally just cargo. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. All right, so let's do it. Let's go. Hell yeah. All right, we beat it. True, chat sucks. No, you guys don't suck. Confusing way to say this is a getter function. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, yeah. I'm also tired. If I'm tired, sometimes I read things and I don't comprehend them as well. So when I'm tired, I try not to be too hard on the course. Because it could be me. Startup Me, thanks for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Doing well, thanks. About to give up on updating an old project as a continuous deployment is failing. Oh no, the continuous deployment is failing. What do you have set up for the continuous deployment? Yeah, my current, I don't even know what you want me to call you. I'll just say my current. We're going to be learning Django. Let's go back to Boot.dev. Once we hit... We're going to do build asteroids, functional program. Damn, that's a big section. This is a bigger section. But essentially, I think once we finish this, we're going to learn Django and build something with Python and Django. And you know what I might do? I've thought about it. I think with things that I'm learning, I think I'm going to build courses. I'm going to build something with it and then build a course. I want to try that. It'll further reinforce things. I don't know if I'm going to charge for the courses. But I have considered, not for these. Maybe I will. I don't know. I like the idea of like doing a basic course and then like really diving deep into it and charging for like an advanced course. Like I kind of want to do that with Nest. But I've thought about releasing tutorials on my YouTube channel and going more technical. Yeah, I've thought about that. I don't know if I'm going to or not. But if I built a course to like reinforce what I'm learning, like if I built a course on Django, I might just upload it to my YouTube channel. I don't know yet though. It's a good course. I'm also going through the Python stuff on Boot.dev just to get better at it. Nice, nice. Yeah, I feel like we've kind of aggregated a bunch of Boot.dev students here. Asteroids is in the game. Yeah, it's gonna. I'm pretty sure, unless it's a different Asteroids game. I would assume so. Oh, Django literally learned that now. Nice. Yeah. I remember you mentioned Flask and Django. But I kind of like want to learn the marketable thing in that stack, and just like try it out and see how I like it. Again, I'm not completely opposed to going back to a dev job, but I think I need to. I don't want to go back to React. I don't think I want to go back to front end. I really don't think so. If I do, it's probably going to be back end or full stack. But yeah, I'm going to explore. there might just be a stack that I, really love, and I just double down on that and get really good with it. But I like how Boot.dev is exposing us to different languages. And I don't know if I'm going to let go or not. We'll try it out, but I've been building stuff with Python for AI stuff because I got a new graphics card. So run local models, and I've just played around with it, but I'm going to start trying to build like a local agent to help me with my business. I think that'd be fun. Reinforced course, of course. I'm using Netlify. Been through the deploy log, Googled and checked out what it says, and the code seems fine. Does Netlify have support you can contact? I mean, this is like, if you get truly stuck with that, like, this is where ChatGPT can be useful and helpful. Cool. I want to make my own asteroids game using React for client and C# for server. You should totally do it. I think that'd be fun. You still want to do web dev, like backend instead? I don't know what I want to do. I like backend. I might shift into game development 5 years down the road. I don't know. But I know I do like backend, and I think I like it more than front end. So do I really want to do that? I don't know. I'm going to keep diving deeper into it. And if I decide that I don't want to do it, then I don't. But maybe I continue loving it. I don't know yet. Everything's still kind of up in the air. But I really don't have much of an interest in going back and working for a company. I might just start building courses. I'll be honest. So I'm still talking with Scrimba to build a course, and per wants a more like kind of like enterprisey type course for the theme. It's not going to be my favorite course to build. I don't know. Like, I really like the idea of making courses like silly and fun. Like Boot.dev. You're building sage weapons and you're fighting dragons and stuff like that. I want to build stuff like Boot.dev does. I have different ideas than Boot.dev, but I like kind of the silly nature in programming courses. I think it makes it fun. Yeah, I just have ideas for courses that I want to build. I think could be fun. If you go full stack, are you still going to use React? I have no idea. I have no idea. That's way down the road. No idea. It's not like I won't touch React again. I think when Scrimba comes out with the next course, I think I at least want to build something with Next. I'm probably not going to like it, but I could be wrong. But I want to transfer my Don the Developer website over to Next. Because honestly, I've been dealing with a lot of SEO issues, and I don't want to set up server-side rendering and hydration and all that. So the Don the Developer website isn't that interesting to me. It's kind of just like a marketing site for me. I don't even get a lot of traffic with it. And I built up my own structure with the code base, but I don't even care about that anymore. Now that I'm diving into Twitch Sprout, now that I'm diving into Python World and different stuff, I don't really care to have Don the Developer be my exploratory project. I just want it solved. I've even considered using a site builder for it. I'm not even joking. So I think that's a good use case for Next. Just transfer it over. Don't have a complicated backend. I have to strip a couple features from it. The set interval features and the sitemap builder stuff, like services that'll run on their own periodically. I could connect the Next app to a service that does that, I guess. I don't know, but I'm just going to simplify the website and use it as a marketing website. And I'm going to use AI to take my podcast episodes and create blog posts out of it. Yeah, I'm going to simplify that. It'll take a little bit to build that up, but once it's done, I think it'll be easy to kind of just like tack on small features. Agreed, my current job is 0% JS, and it's honestly nice. Looking forward to learning more Python and just more backend, lower level in general. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll stop being burned out from React. I don't know. I just don't like the direction front end is going. I do backend currently, switch from front end, full stack, not going back. Yeah, you know, a lot of backend developers, there are a lot of backend developers that were once front end developers. They just didn't like front end that much. Silly stack confirmed. Next is great if you do things the Vercel way. I've never used it heavily, but that's just what I hear. That's what I hear as well. Yeah, I don't know. I actually think the Next cult turned me off from front end, if I'm being honest. So I want to try it with Next, but I have conflicting feelings about it. What is polymorphism? Well, inheritance is the most unique trait of object-oriented languages. Polymorphism is probably the most powerful. Polymorphism is the ability of a variable or function or an object to take on multiple forms. Poly, many, morph, form. Okay. For example, classes in the same hierarchy or hierarchical, how do you say that? Hierarchical? Hierarchical. Why is that so hard to say? Tree may have methods with the same name but different behaviors. Let's look at, hold on. Let's look at a simple example. Class creature, move, okay? Dragon, move. For creature, what is this? For creature in, empty array, creature, dragon, kraken, move. Okay. Do you not like... So this is how you create a new instance for a class? I don't think I knew that. So you're not using the word new. Okay. All right, so we have 3 instances and we just do move. Yes. The dragon and kraken child classes are overriding the behavior of their parent move. Oh, wait, they are... But this isn't the same hierarchical tree. Is it not? Wouldn't dragon be beneath it and kraken? Or within it? Dragon and kraken? The dragon and kraken child classes are overriding the behavior of their parent class's move. We're going to build hitbox logic for a game step by step, starting with a sample rectangle. Okay. Complete the init method. Configure the class to have properties matching the variables passed into the constructor in this order. Okay. In this order, y1. Cool. How do you learn a coding language fast? Any tips, please? Yeah, you don't try to learn it fast. You just learn it. Stop trying to do everything fast. That's my tip. Like your use case sounds like a good use case. Yeah, for the website transferring it over. Like it's built with GraphQL. I don't need it to have GraphQL. I just wanted to keep my skills fresh with it. I have GraphQL in my Twitch Sprout application. So I'm going to keep my skills fresh with it there. So I'm probably just going to do like a normal RESTful API. I'm going to keep things simple. I know you can do GraphQL in Next, but I don't even care to. Yeah, I can't think of a better use case for it. I don't want to build a new app with Next. That sounds horrible. But I already have React in that. I don't think I'm going to transfer it over. I've considered like maybe rebuilding my website with Go and HTMX and something with a templating thing. I could rebuild my website. Honestly, I could rebuild my website with Python and Django. I have a different idea in mind, but I could do that for my website. That's also another option instead of next. Yeah, they all inherit from creature. You call super move from dragon. Yeah, I know that, Misty. No, maybe you misunderstood. I'm just saying the wording seems off, right? For example, classes in the same hierarchical tree may have methods, but this isn't like a same hierarchical tree. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're going on about. Maybe you misunderstood what I said. All right, let's move on. All right. Get edges. Remember that with normal units, we were checking if the XY point was within a rectangle, the dragon's breath, to see if they were hit by the fire. With a dragon, because they're so big, we're going to check if the dragon's body, a rectangle, is within the fire, also a rectangle. Okay. The image below contains an example of fire breath hitting a dragon. Cool. And I'm guessing this is from like another dragon. And the next assignment, we'll be writing the overlap method itself, but first you're going to write a method to find the edges of a rectangle. Okay. The coordinates have now been made private members. We added 2 underscores to them. So we need to write getter methods to access them. First, let's set up helper methods to find these edges. Write the following methods. What they do should be self-explanatory given their names. Cool. All right. Return. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll just get used to doing this. Like if we're not going to be accessing the properties directly. And this is just by convention with Python, I believe. This doesn't enforce anything. This is just convention to say these properties aren't supposed to be accessed, right? Okay. Return that. Return right x. x1. Yeah. x1, x2. Okay. Remember that x1 or x2 could be the left x based on its value. Okay. The same goes for the y values. That's fair. You may find Python's built-in min, max functions useful. You'd rather not use the comparison operators. Interesting. And it just returns the smallest of the two. That is super convenient. In an iterable, why do Python docs seem so convoluted? So we need to put them in. Oh, no, we don't. Like, this is so much cleaner to look up and learn from. Okay. So we don't need to put them in a list. It's just arguments. Max. Okay, so max. Y2. And then min. All right, there we go. It's not. If we go back. Oh, it is the same hierarchical tree. I guess I misunderstood that. Yeah, I guess, yeah, it's in the same tree. Yeah, good call. Yeah, maybe that's my misunderstanding. Some days, some days I don't know because I'm trying to gather how good of a course this is. Some days it's really hard to tell if I'm just tired and I'm not interpreting things correctly or things are worded incorrectly. I do think Boot.dev has quite a bit of rough edges in the way that it teaches and explains some things, at least in the Python section, or at least in like the recent Python section. I don't think it's doing a really good job at reinforcing some of this stuff. Like, have me write this stuff out, have me define the functions. Like, don't give me steps that are already completed. You know what I mean? But it's really hard to figure out if like the course is bad or I'm tired or what. Sometimes I don't know. But I do feel like the past few sessions, the wording has been a little confusing. It does enforce stuff. So if you do underscore underscore, you're saying that I can't access that property without a getter. You're saying Python does enforce that? What is name mangling? What is name mangling? Python docs haven't been improved? Oh, really? Since 1993? Really? Okay, that checks out. It's too filled in. I think it is. I really think it is. Like, if we're learning, we're not learning about. You're forcing me to come up with the logic of what the function does. But if I'm learning about classes and writing methods in classes, let me write the method. I don't need to write the logic in the method. I need to write the method. You'll have to Google for explanation because Twitch Mobile isn't great to explain anything. Okay, I'm not going to Google anything right now. From like, all I was asking is it enforced? You're saying it's enforced. You're saying that you can't access the property. That's what you're saying. If that's cool, if that's what you're saying, I think we answered that question. Oh, from Pep, Python, mangles these names with a class name. If class foo has an attribute name underscore underscore a, it cannot be accessed by foo. A, gotcha. An instance user could still gain access by calling foo. Oh, but an instance can, so it's not that enforced. Oh. Wait, what does that mean? If class foo has an attribute named underscore underscore a, it can not be accessed by foo underscore underscore a. An insistent user could still gain access by calling foo underscore foo. I guess it kind of is enforced. What would foo? So when they're talking about foo, I'm assuming they're talking about the instance. And then you would do underscore foo underscore underscore a, which is probably a hacky way to access it. So maybe it is enforced. Generally, double leading underscore should be used only to avoid name conflicts with attributes and classes designed to be subclassed. I appreciate you copying and pasting that. So all I care about is this. Oh. Well, I want it outside of this. I don't want it in the class. How do I write it outside of it? Unexpected indent? Oh, unexpected indent. Where? Where's the unexpected indent? What? What's up, Bones? How you doing? Python is top to bottom, so you're in the class space still? What do you mean by that? I understand Python is from top to bottom. What does that have to do with this? Don't indents represent scope in Python? Why am I in the class space? Oh, line 24. You're right. I'm literally just reading don't touch below this line. You're right. Well, I'm going to touch below this line. I'm going to touch it all day. Let's go. All right. We're probably breaking stuff. Can I get like a Python REPL? Yeah, thank you, my current. That was helpful. Give me like a free REPL. Okay. Interactive interpreter? Is this what I want? I don't think it is. It is. I think it's going to be a pain in the ass to write code. No. Maybe we try it on something else. Like you can do in the CLI. Yeah. Online Python REPL. There we go. Okay, cool. So, like, again, I have not written a class in Python, so I am just going to assume this is correct. But we are going to... it doesn't matter, horse. This would be I don't know. We're gonna do it's gonna get self at least, right? So name equals Bob. The horse's name Bob. Perfect. Actually, we do want the underscore. Okay, let's look at this. This is what happens when you fill out the stuff for me. Def. Yep, forgot to define. That's what happens. Make me fill it out. Okay. Horse object has no attribute underscore underscore name. Okay. So is that kind of like the correct output if we try to access something like that? Like if we do... George. That's a horse name, isn't it? Okay. All right, so it is enforced. Nice. Is a pain in the ass? Okay. We got away from that. We found one. Yes. So, okay, I just went to test it. But again, like, did you see, this is what I mean with Boot.dev. Like, I forgot to define. Why? Because I haven't written it. I just haven't written it. You're not making me write this stuff. You're filling everything out, and all I'm literally doing is practicing the logic. I'm not practicing writing out classes. I'm actually going to give feedback. I'd like to submit a report. Yes. I really wish... I'm finding that when I try to write classes outside of Boot.dev, basic stuff like how to even... well, yeah, like I use parentheses for the rectangle, or for the horse, right? And I wasn't supposed to. How to even define a class, or even define methods inside the class. I wish more lessons would force me to build the class on my own versus having these methods created for me where I'm only focused on the logic within the methods. I feel like I'm not... Yeah, I think that's good. That's fair. OOP. Yep. I get what you mean about the Python course. I think it's because it's trying to teach both Python syntax and OOP. I felt like it taught Python syntax, though. Right? This is a later course. This isn't one of the earlier courses. We went through a whole fundamentals course. Like, why am I writing out... I guess, like, it's fine if I write out the logic in the functions. I think that further reinforces it, but why am I only doing that? Would the following be better? What do you mean? Did I miss something? Would the following be better? Oh, I'm finding that because the code is predefined, I am not really... Probably, yeah. Really being enforced and learning syntax. Yep, I already... That probably would have been better. Yeah, and that's what we saw, Misty. But I'm not trying to figure out how to hack my way to get Bob. I just don't want to access the property directly and easily by chaining dot name or underscore underscore name. In JavaScript, that's not enforced, right? It's just a convention. In Python, it seems more enforced. I'm not saying you can't hack your way into it. I don't care about that. Actually, we're going to chill out. It's already noon. I see. Let's chill out and talk. for 5 minutes or so. How you guys doing? How's it going? What is the stack most used by programmers who don't want to focus on front end? I asked because I once heard you criticize frameworks like Tailwind. You ask because I criticize frameworks like Tailwind? Can you elaborate on that? It depends on what you're building. I don't think there's like a stack. It depends on what you want to build, what kind of company you want to work at. Like what area in software engineering do you want to go down? You can look up marketable stacks in your area and just build a spreadsheet of all the job postings. I don't think there's like one stack that most programmers use. I don't think that's a thing. I wouldn't even if it is, it's irrelevant. That's completely irrelevant. Isn't the underscore the Python version of private and things like JS and Java? What am I reading? Isn't the underscore the Python version of private? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's private. But I don't know if it's enforced in Java, but JavaScript, it definitely is not enforced. TypeScript, I haven't tested it. Probably enforced. Tailwind is not a framework. It's a library. Yeah, Tailwind is a library. So just to elaborate, I don't like Tailwind because I like writing CSS. It doesn't mean you can't like Tailwind. It doesn't mean you can't use Tailwind. I just don't like it because I like writing CSS. Tailwind is for people that don't want to write CSS. That's it. Yeah, don't take my opinions of what I think what the language is and like have it limit your path. That should never happen. Not really. It's name mangling, which is different. The whole philosophy of Python is that everyone is an adult. In Java, it's more enforced than with Python. Okay, Python is more security by obscurity. Ah, gotcha. I don't think, yeah, I think it's more, like, you make it harder to access it, right? And I'm totally fine with that. But in Java, you're saying, like, you can truly trust that you're not able to access that if you don't want to, or if you make it so you can't. You can create meta classes to simulate private properties to a large extent, but that's more black magic. Is this where we fight, Don? I like Tailwind. Listen, if you like Tailwind, you like Tailwind. Use it. I like CSS. That's my controversial take. I hate Tailwind because I like CSS. I think people that like Tailwind don't like CSS as much as they think they do. What do you guys think about that? Bring this over. Yeah, I think people that use Tailwind don't like CSS. They don't like writing CSS. I don't think that's like, I don't like okay, Misty, what you're implying is that you're childish if you want a little bit more enforcement. I don't think that's the right way to say that. I don't know. The way you're saying it just sounds condescending, dude. But for real, I get it. I need to get back into CSS. Again, like, it's for people that don't want to write CSS. That's all it is. If you don't want to write CSS, that's fine. It's literally in the Zen of Python. What is the Zen of Python? Whatever it is, I think it's condescending. Python has the most opinionated guidelines. No, this is The more Pythonic way of doing it. Okay. Do you like vanilla CSS on a big project? I love it. Or would you do something like style components? No. CSS is great in big projects. I in all 3 developer positions, I never used style components. All CSS. Well, we use SCSS, but CSS can do a lot nowadays. Do functional languages also protect state by having everything in local scope and having no way to access it outside of a debugger or some other way to inspect the runtime context? I think it probably depends on the language. Like, what specific language are you talking about? It's not that I don't like writing CSS. Would Python? Python is like a mix, right? It's OOP and it's functional. It's not that I don't like writing CSS. Tailwind makes things faster. Again, you don't like writing CSS. You would be just as fast. Devon, you would. You don't like writing CSS as much as you think you do. Just use CSS. If you're good at CSS, it'll be fast, Devon. You don't like it enough to get good with it. That's all it is. That's why you're not fast with it. I didn't think about that as a security feature until now. Ways of doing stuff, but all languages require you to know what you're doing. That's fair. That's a fair assessment. Yeah. I do get what you're saying. Like, Python bros like are really something else. I do get what you're saying. It is condescending. It's saying that it's your responsibility. No, it's implying that you're childish for wanting more security. It is condescending. Like, just say it's your responsibility. I don't know. Python bros are like, yeah, I do see what you're saying, my current. I do. Lisp is the one that comes to mind. I don't know Lisp. I got you. I have no idea. Forgive them for they... No, not what they do. I'm not a... I'm going to be honest. There's just something about you I don't like, Misty. I don't enjoy talking to you. I don't think you're pleasant to talk to at all. Rip. Bye-bye. But yeah, like, I'm not saying, and I want to be clear, I'm not trying to say you're like a bad developer, but Devon, you could write CSS and you could style stuff. You can style stuff very quickly. Like, you can build front ends very quickly and you can style stuff very quickly if you get really good with CSS. I think a lot of people don't really get good with CSS. They just don't. And a lot of people that think they're good, they're not that good. I actually respect what Zinka's doing to really drill down and get good with CSS. And she's going into some of the more niche parts with it while she's building that Game Boy. So she's discovering some of the more modern features of it. But I would like to actually test her with her fundamentals with CSS. But yeah, you could sell stuff very quickly and not have to cloud your HTML with Tailwind if you just get good with it. It's not very common to make bindings in global scope in Lisp. Most everything is local. Okay. I've never used Lisp. What do you build with Lisp? They aren't level 100 Pythonistas. So my take is like Python people are pretty opinionated. Is that a fair take? This is why I follow you. You make this clear. I could see that. Just like Tailwind, I can make things quick. But yeah, I always liked CSS. You should dive into CSS. You should. I think it's fun. Like, honestly, Devon, Zinka, every Monday she streams. You should like watch her do CSS. She seems to be liking it. Like, she honestly, I could see her I could really see her getting really good with CSS and kind of just becoming an expert in that area. I had tons of projects in CSS, LOL, back in the day. I gotcha. I still think, like, here's the thing, if you're trying to build something quickly, like, for example, why not just vibe code? It's a really cringe term. But, like, you could probably build small apps very quickly with just having AI generate your code. Why don't you do that? Because you enjoy coding. You want to get better with coding. Why use Tailwind, which is going to strip your experience of writing CSS because you don't want to write CSS? I don't think it's about speed. If it's about speed, you don't really care to write CSS. You don't enjoy it. If it's about speed, go faster. Have AI generate your code. Python is one step away from being a cult, is it? Like, JavaScript's kind of a cult too. I can't really say much. The next crew is a cult. Speaking of cults, Emacs mentioned NeoVim's kind of a cult, right? We have a lot of cults in programming. You think Roblox was made with Lisp? Really? Lisp is mostly used for domain-specific cases where there is no prior suitable language, mostly in research, and it has become the de facto domain-specific language in some niche cases. Okay. Huh. Mostly in research. Would you guys want to write in Lisp? Would you take a job that does that? Gave you two cults. Let's drink the Kool-Aid. No, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Please don't. You know what? Hold on. Auto read. Hold on. Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave her banned. There's just something about, I'm like, should I try to be nice and charitable? No, there's just something about her. Like, I just didn't enjoy talking to her from the beginning. Coming in with like, I don't know. I'll leave her banned. I think that was the appropriate action. I was thinking, like, should I do like a 2-week timeout or something like that? No, I've come to, man, I like live streaming. And the only reason I don't like live streaming is when I have to interact with people that I don't like talking to. They just rub me the wrong way. And my take on it is like, why keep them in my live stream, in my community? Why? Like, if I'm going to go live, even during some days where I really don't, it's to talk with people that I like talking with. All of you, right? If someone rubs me the wrong way, why keep them around? I think, like, as a streamer, it just makes you not want to stream. And if you guys ever try live streaming, I highly recommend you take that stance. I think streamers usually end up doing that. Or they kind of just like, they don't feel like dealing with people, so they don't go live. But I think it's way easier to go live on a schedule when you just get rid of people that rub you the wrong way, that you don't want to talk to. It's so much easier. Sometimes used as a scripting language, but it's rarely used overall. Okay. I don't think I'd learn it. I don't think I care to learn it. I don't have any use cases for it. I'm told Lisp has flopped several times when it was tried in a large-scale production. Oof. What aren't World of Warcraft extensions built in Lua? I was considering learning it for that reason. Tailwind is good for scope styling to the components. It's also good if you use it properly to properly define a style system or whatever it's called. I don't know squat though. I don't do front end. You could do all that with CSS. And it depends what you mean by scope styling. Like, so I think I know what you mean. with how you compile, like let's say you bring it into React, with how you compile your React components, you could set it up to be scoped. You can set up your styles to be scoped. Like that's not a unique feature with Tailwind. It just like it's one of those things where it makes it a tiny bit easier, but it's not that hard to set up. Like you could just pull in an extra library to do that. Yeah, that's not a feature to sell Tailwind. Tailwind is for people that don't want to write CSS. That's all it's for. One of your first programming languages to use Minecraft's computer craft mining turtles that were scripted in Lua to auto mine. Good memories. That's a fun way to use a language you're learning. Yes, they are. What did I say? What are? Oh, WoW extensions. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I might learn Lua one day and build WoW extensions. Maybe like I always wanted to do World of Warcraft streams, but no one watches them. So I haven't played that game in a while, honestly. But if I could get an in the community and get a bunch of viewers by building, like learning Lua and building an extension, I would do it. I don't think it would work like that, though. Misty, it's because they were quoting the Zen of Python and all the Pythonisms, which do kind of come off as cringe. Yeah, but it also, like, towards the end, it's like, that wasn't Pythonism. That was just her. It's like, either she is a cult member of Python, which I don't think. I don't know. I would have to go back and read her text, but there was just a vibe I got from the very beginning. There's some people that kind of come in and they just give unsolicited feedback, and it's not that helpful. Like the way you were wording things, my current was helpful. The way she was wording things wasn't. When I asked her to explain something, she's like, "Oh, I'm on mobile." Then don't give unsolicited feedback. Like don't. She's the type of unsolicited feedback chatter that isn't really enjoyable to talk to. It's hard for me to define what that is, but from the beginning, I didn't really enjoy her talking in chat. It was invented in the 50s and is still used, but not widely probable since a lot about... Okay, we're probably never going to learn Lisp. That'd be cool to build an extension. Yeah, it could be fun. I already have an idea of what I would do. Someone was banned for simply discussing the Zen of Python? No. Lua is also a pretty nifty language. Tables are essentially the only compound data type. Definitely the only one you need. Okay. Like, read this Stack Overflow comment. Same vibe. Or here, we'll go, hold on. Does Python have private variables in classes? I'm coming from the Java world. I'm reading Bruce while reading about classes. It goes on to say that in Python, there's no need to declare instance variables. You just use them in the constructor and boom, they are there. Okay. If that's true, then any object of a class simple can just change the value of a variable s outside the class. Yeah. In Java, we have been taught, okay, it's cultural. In Python, you don't write to other classes, instance or class variables. In Java, nothing prevents you from doing the same if you really want to. After all, you can always edit the source of the class itself to achieve the same effect. Python drops the pretense of security and encourages programmers to be responsible. This is different than being an adult. Like the wording of being responsible is very different because what you're doing is like if you have any, you're implying like someone is acting like a child because they want more enforcement. That is condescending. This is not condescending. You could argue maybe it is a little bit, but like not nearly as much. If you want to emulate private variables for some reason, you can always use the __ prefix. Same convention. That makes sense. I mean, it's like, but the same argument goes for types in like the fight against TypeScript and people that just want to use JavaScript. It's like, well, just be responsible with it. And that actually was my argument. It's like most of the bugs that I create are not type stuff. They're not due to type errors. And that was my argument for the longest time. And it kind of still is. Like, but I did finally encounter an instance where it wasn't well documented that it was a certain type in my ORM. And I found out that it was a specific type because my linter told me so. That is helpful. I think having a type system so your editor can guide you is helpful. But my argument kind of still is like, just check your code, write unit tests. I don't feel like listening to this. I hate the voice in this song, but I like the background. Like, I like the music. That voice. I'm good. Okay, let me catch up. Remember posting one day if Tailwind is used in major companies, and they said no, so that's a take. Everyone mostly uses. Yep, Tailwind is not used in major companies. It's like it's not widely used. Next is not widely used. It's just popular on Twitter. It's not widely used. It's created like a huge misconception for aspiring developers, and I think it's been poisonous. I think Tailwind is good, but learning CSS is essential. Now, how deep into it you get is your choice, but at least you should know the basics even if you want to use Tailwind. Yeah, I think that's a fair take. If you want to be front end, though, don't go Tailwind. Go Tailwind way later down the road. Right? Build a ton of stuff with CSS. Be very comfortable with that. Don't even just learn the basics, like really dive deep. If you're becoming a front end developer, people are diving into Tailwind way too soon. Way too soon. Oh yeah, I will ban whoever. I'm back from eating lunch. What did I miss? Nothing. We're just talking about the Python cult. How you doing, Anonymous? Yeah, that is a better way of saying it. I don't see anything wrong with the comments in this post. I don't know what you're saying, Chili. Oh, the Stack Overflow post? Yeah, was there a specific comment that kind of like I don't know, made you feel like Python was a bit of like a cult? Because I didn't really see anything either. I mean, I think they worded it much better than Misty did. Nothing really specific. I guess I misremembered what I read. I mean, sometimes it kind of just gives you a vibe of people being condescending. It might have done that. We didn't read all the comments. So yeah, like I said, underscore is basically using private. Yeah. I know that the front end people on my team is going to try some Tailwind just to see how it feels. Okay. I don't see Next in majority of the job applications online. They're not. Yeah, Anonymous, and you're looking at job applications right now. They're not. They're just not. But you still get people that say they are. And it's like, dude, just like go through 250 job postings and tell me what's out there. This is why I always encourage, like, I don't even argue, like, what is the... Like, I'll say these things, and I'll say, like, yeah, Next is not popular like you think it is in professional applications. Tailwind is not popular like you think it is in professional applications. But I always say, like, don't take my word for it. Build a spreadsheet. No one wants to build that spreadsheet. They want to continue regurgitating the same misinformation with a lot of technologies. And it's because it's hopium. They want these technologies to be more popular. So it's kind of like, okay, well, if I lie and I push it and I say companies are using it because my one friend of a friend of a friend decided that they're going to bring in Tailwind into their application, so every company is going to do it. It's like you always get the same bullshit regurgitated because of anecdotal experiences or because of hopium. Like, get data. Build a spreadsheet for yourself. You'll see the truth then. Although I think teaching someone about the language in a way that is similar to what they know is more effective than trying to teach only on language they are trying to learn. For example, if you go in Go, you use struct and can have methods attached, which is similar to a class. Not really, but for someone not used to Go, I find that better. What are you saying? Although I think teaching someone about the language in a way that is similar to what they know is more effective. I agree with that. I agree, and I found that I was able to pick up Angular easier or more easily because I was relating it to things in React, and you constantly heard me say, oh, this is just this in React, right? I agree with that. Nothing really specific. Okay, all right, we're caught up. Cool. I guess that's my point, just same vibe, but yeah, better wording. Every language pretty much has a cult sector to them if you want to phrase it like that. What are the points you're making, Chili Mosh? What is the point of saying these things? I feel like you're, what's the word? What? You're not really saying anything of substance. So what are you saying, Chili? You kind of backseat modded a little bit. It's none of your business who I ban. I don't mind you like disagreeing with stuff, but like what are the points that you're trying to make? Because I don't think you're like saying anything of substance in what you're trying to say. So what points are you trying to make, Chili? Some even have propaganda. There's a lot of propaganda. But that's like saying, what is the meaning of language? I don't know. I think you're going to have... it's kind of just like watering down what you're trying to say to basically strip the meaning of what you're trying to say. It's like, yes, you can look at every group like a cult. So every group is considered a cult, but that doesn't mean you're going to get more cult-like behavior in certain stacks or certain languages. I think all Chili's doing is like watering that down to make what you're saying meaningless, and I don't think it is. Yeah, I don't know. Again, bad vibes. You are backseat modding. It's like, it's none of your business who I ban or why I ban them. I think it's not antagonistic. The word isn't antagonistic. It's what's it called when you like play devil's advocate to everything? You're not really trying to understand what the other person is saying. You're just constantly disagreeing. What is that called? Combative? No, it's not combative. Because I don't think he was combative. It was contrarian. Thank you, Gus. Contrarian. He felt like a contrarian. Yep, you guys got it. Thank you, YouTube. He just felt like a contrarian. That's the vibe he gave. Like, there was no trying to understand what you were saying. It was just constantly disagreeing. And if like that's all you're doing when you come into a stream, I don't think it's pleasant to talk to contrarians. Like, if that's all you're being. Yeah, you guys got it. Man, you guys are... Whenever I have like... I love asking you guys this because I always sometimes have the word on the tip of my tongue and I don't know what it is, and you guys always help me find that. Always. Merrier? No, that's definitely not it. That's definitely not it. I get a feeling that as we dive deeper into Python, I have to figure out if I like Python people. It's really hard to figure out like if there are certain viewers that are coming in that I just don't like to talk to. It's because like they're coming in because I'm learning Python, or they're just randomly seeing my stream, and they would have come in if I was learning Nest. I don't know how the Python culture is. I'm kind of curious about that because I do think JavaScript people are friendly. I think JavaScript developers are friendly. What would you say is like the worst group, like programming group of people to deal with? Like, is it Python people? Is it Rust people? Like, what are the worst people to work with, to deal with, to talk with? Rust is the worst? Okay. Why is it the worst? I subbed for a while, but only started tuning in regularly for the Python. Oh, okay. Cool. Well, welcome, Fanta. Oh, furries. Fair. That's fair. Yeah. No, that's completely fair. That's a good reason. I agree that a lot of languages have that group of folks that are insufferable, but I think Python just has more of these people. Okay. You think Python has more of these people? What makes Python people insufferable? Is it like just like because they follow the church of Python? Or are they just like not pleasant people to talk with? Python community is okay, about the same as JS devs? I don't know. I feel like front end people are usually friendly. I don't know about Node.js people. I've worked with people in Node.js. I think the JavaScript people are actually really friendly. Also, the Rust Foundation sucks. Why do they suck? Oh, Bones, I saw that you did a couple of streams. How did that go? What's the programming language? Has a Rick and Morty fan base community? What are Rick and Morty fans like? What are their personalities like? Naming shit like the Zen of Python for one, that is pretty cringe. It is pretty cringe. Python people, would this be accurate? Python people come off as smug. Would that be an accurate statement? Yeah, you kind of butchered it. That's all right. We got there. Okay, just getting used to it. My pattern might be a bit inconsistent at the moment. Got stuff to do as I am moving. Oh, you're moving across the country or you're moving countries? That's cool. I'm glad I'm glad it went okay. Oh, UK to Japan. Really? Okay. I always wanted to visit Japan, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, that is pretty cool. I hope the move goes well. Damn, that's a big move. You excited about it? Some of them are smug like the old Prius drivers. Yeah. They, it wasn't a Prius, but there was a Family Guy episode where it just went to a scene where Stewie was expected this driver, this woman in this truck. I don't remember what the truck was. It wasn't a Prius. It was like an SUV. But he expected the lady to not pay attention. And then, or no, oh, I get it. She was waving Stewie. Okay, I'm ruining this entirely. But she was waving Stewie along so Stewie could go. And Stewie's like, oh, I did not expect that from this woman in this truck. And so Stewie starts walking, and she hits him. And she's basically shouts out the window, I wasn't telling you to go. I was trying to smell my own farts. Is that a Python dev? I think like that skit, I feel like perfectly represents Python devs. Am I accurate in saying that? I don't want to play it on stream because, yeah, a lot of that gets, a lot of videos get taken down that do that with Family Guy. But is that a Python dev? The smug could be from all of the academic people that Python attracts. You might be onto something there. I think Python people get defensive because it gets a lot of hate from people who prefer statically typed and compiled languages. It seems like a love or hate thing. Dude, JavaScript. Try being a JavaScript developer. Like, get over yourself. You might be right about that, Fanta. But I don't know. Get over it. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, like, Python people, if, like, that is a thing, try being a JavaScript dev. JavaScript gets so much hate from backend developers. So much hate. Nah, standard millennial midlife crisis. Oh, crisis move. Okay, fair. I think, hey, listen. Switch up your life. I actually like that. If what you have going on isn't working for you, do a drastic change. I'm a big fan of a drastic change. I probably should do that myself. South Park had the Prius episode. Okay, I didn't see that one. I'm mostly a Python dev, but I don't necessarily like talking to other Python devs sometimes due to the prevalence of ego. There was an ego, yeah. And the way that people talk, I don't know. I'm just kind of like talking out of my ass right now. Like, I haven't really met a lot of Python devs, and Yunjay, you use Python a lot. You're amazing to talk to, right? There are a lot of like good-spirited people that are Python devs. We're kind of just talking shit a little bit, you know? What's up, Alex? How you doing? South Park did the Prius drivers smelling their own farts thing first, did they? I should watch that. Yes, the academia, most of the people I've had a hard time with has been people working in Jupyter notebooks doing data science things. I don't think I'd want to work in academia if I could avoid it. I just feel like, man, imagine working... I don't know. I think sometimes professors, even I got this in Purdue. I got the feeling from some professors that they were just kind of smug, especially when they have tenure. You just get, I don't know. It's like an automatic smugness that just gets attached to your personality once you get tenure as a professor. There are some cool professors, but I wouldn't want to go back to college. No, you're right. JS gets the most hate. I do think it does. You know what? I don't like, I would never have people in my community like this. I just ban them. But I don't like when people say, like, you're not a real developer if you work with JavaScript. Like, I think sometimes people take it too far. But I do think a lot of JavaScript developers just need to understand that there are limits with their language. I think the problem comes when JavaScript developers treat it like it's the perfect language and everyone should just build with JavaScript because anything can be built with it when you pull in 76 libraries, right? That are written with lower level languages. I feel like JavaScript developers that the problem with JavaScript developers is they do push JavaScript into everything and they treat it like a perfect language. That's where the problems arise. I don't agree with JavaScript shouldn't be on the backend. Some backend developers think JavaScript shouldn't be on the backend. I just think like you can kind of spin something up pretty easily on the backend with JavaScript when you have front-end developers that kind of just need to get a little bit more comfortable with Node.js, but they're already comfortable with JavaScript. You can create companies full of developers that just know JavaScript and spin something up. I think that's fantastic because most companies aren't even going to get off the ground. So making that part easier when there are a ton of JavaScript developers you can hire is great. I think JavaScript can be on the back end. But the problem comes when JavaScript developers are just like, they want to remain blissfully ignorant to the cons of JavaScript. That's the problem. I even thought about like, and I'm starting to think about these things, but like, there's no way I'm going to rebuild Twitch Sprout and Python, right? It's not really, there's so many messages coming through and a lot of asynchronous stuff. Python isn't really built for that. You can kind of make it work in Python, but it's going to be slower in handling a lot of the transactions. It's going to be a lot slower in handling all that data coming through at different times and keeping that organized. Like JavaScript is actually pretty good with handling a lot of, what would you call it, like concurrent tasks, much more than Python. Did I say that correctly? But I think like JavaScript in the Node.js ecosystem is way better than like building something with Python and handling stuff like that. There are probably, I mean, it's single threaded and there are probably better languages to handle like a lot of data transfer, but you have JavaScript developers that I'm just repeating myself. I'm going around in circles. You get what I'm saying. If Java ever comes to me as a JS, I'll just say, why you coming at me? Aren't you just an older version of JS? Damn, Alex. The spicy comebacks, huh? Java and JS were created the same year, were they? Oh, but which was created first? Oh no, I'm older than Java. All right, I got to drop. All right, take care, my current. Good discussion. Now, that's a statement I can endorse to an extent. I think that's the problem with all the widely used languages. I think Python is in the exact same way. It's not the language that's the problem. It's the ecosystem that gets built. It's the culture around it. That's always the problem. I think that's what people get annoyed at. I agree for sure. Python is extremely slow, compute intensive for the task comparatively. Yeah. Because I was looking into it. I don't really have an interest in rebuilding the backend for TwitSprout. I like Nest. But I am trying to think about how I would implement it in a different language and what are some roadblocks I'm going to hit. Is it going to be faster? Is it going to be slower? Is it going to be easier to manage if I do something with Django even? Like, is that going to be cleaner to manage a lot of the features that I'm building in Nest? I'm just trying to think about those things, because I think it'll help me get better. It's just simple to write and document, so I prefer it for work stuff. Oh, for Python stuff. I really did think Java was older. Oh, yeah, I guess it's not. I don't know. I haven't looked at the dates. Maybe it's like a month older, but I don't think it would be that snappy of a comeback, right? If it's like a month older, you know? All right, cool. Hey, it's cool hanging out. And we will be live Wednesday. I didn't want to be live too long because I want to go eat. But we'll be live on Wednesday. And again, I'm still talking with Per to get the theme solidified with the Nest.js course I'm going to be building with Scrimba. It's not set in stone until I receive my first payment. But he's cool with the financial expectations. And so I'll let you know once that first invoice gets paid. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do more streams where I'm building out that course with you guys, so you guys get to see it. I may or may not leave the live streams up. I won't leave them up for very long. But yeah, we'll build it together. It'll be fun. All right, guys, have a good rest of your day. Happy Monday. Good luck in all of your projects. And yeah, let's, I'll raid next time. All right, take care, everyone. See ya.